Okay, so today we're going to look at the significance of one High Court case that relates to the constitutional protection of rights in Australia. The study design says that you need to know one High Court case about the protection of rights, and we're going to look at the Roach v Electoral Commissioner 2007 case. So we're going to use the same structure that we used for the previous High Court cases that affected the division of power. So we're going to look at the issue, the law, the facts, the decision, and most importantly the effects of the High Court decision. So the Roach case involved Vicky Lee Roach, who was a prisoner at the time, and the issue really was whether the Commonwealth Parliament could pass legislation that prohibited convicted and sentenced prisoners from voting in elections. So at the time, in 2006, the Commonwealth passed the Electoral and Referendum Amendment Act, which prohibited all convicted and sentenced prisoners from voting in elections. Vicky Lee Roach at the time was serving a 6-year term of imprisonment, and she challenged the constitutional validity of the 2006 Act and the validity of a previous act passed in 2004. So prior to the 2006 Act, prisoners who were serving longer than 3 years were prevented from voting, but if you were serving a sentence less than 3 years, you were still allowed to vote. And in 2006, the Commonwealth Parliament tried to change that and tried to ban all sentenced prisoners from being able to vote in an election. The High Court decision, they held that the 2006 Act was inconsistent with the system of representative democracy that was established in the Constitution, which required that Parliament be chosen directly by the people. So the effects of that decision were that it established a limited implied right to vote and meant that the 2006 Act was invalid. It meant that it was unconstitutional for all sentenced prisoners to be denied the vote, but the High Court did say that it was okay for prisoners who are serving longer than 3 years to be denied the right to vote. So that's why it's a limited implied right to vote and not a full implied right. And you can see this as perhaps more of a structural protection relating to the system of representative government. And that's it.